Hello, friends. Welcome to the mystery, the pinball, the theater that they call the Mystery Pinball Theater. I'm Manu, and right to my right, left,
Nailed it.
right. Am I
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I mean,
It's
on camera,
backwards.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, it's Doug from CoolToy.
Salutations. Pleasure as always.
How are you, my friend?
I,
Doug took my place this year at
yep.
Expo.
I went in your stead. I said I am christened with the last name Smith, and I'm here to represent. Surely you've heard of us. We founded the country. We planted our flag.
Your lanyard said Smith. That's
Yep.
all.
Just that's it. Just capitalized, underlined, italicized. Even threw a tilde in there just for,
Yeah.
church it up a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you went, and I'm glad I got you here tonight so we can chat. Guys, if you don't
Mhm.
already know Doug runs a YouTube channel, which is amazing. I'm subscribed. You
Mm.
definitely need to subscribe right now. Cool
I would
Toy.
say mediocre on a good day, but thank you so much for the kind words. Yeah, cool toy. I met a lot of cool people at Pinball Expo, and the common denominator of that was no one knew my name. Everyone just called me Cool Toy, which is fine. And I
That's
realized,
cool.
yeah, I typically don't refer to myself in the third person, so that is the reason why people don't know my name. But if you've ever wondered what Cool Toy's name is, it's Doug Smith, and it's about the most generic vanilla name you can get. And you can call
It
me Cool
is.
Toy, you can call me Cool Boy, you can call me Doug, you can call me whatever. I will answer to pretty much anything. Jeff, Mark, Frank, whatever.
Just don't call him late for dinner. Here, let me switch this
No,
one
but
over. Oh, look at that Hercules. So,
mm-hmm.
oh, thank you for the Game Club sent you. Thank you for the link to Cool Toys channel. Um, Marty says I
Appreciate that.
called you
And
Doug.
yes, he did. Much appreciated.
What we got here? Wow, we got a lot of people. Dr. Doobie. What's up, Grammy? Flipstream. Brock is here. Marty, of course.
Yes.
Lynn. Oh,
Yep. You can call me Cool Daddy. I mean, technically, I'm a
cool
father-in-law, so
daddy.
yeah. Depending on
Here's
who's
a,
around, that might go over a little awkward. But
you are a dad.
yeah, still haven't left him on the hood of the car, so everything's good.
The stream is Doug approved.
Ha That's cute. I love it.
Hey, Vampire. Hey, everybody. So we're going to skip right into this.
Okay.
So this is your first time. Hi, Terry Red. I turned off a lot of redemptions, but I'm not. I can't turn off people's startup sounds, so we're going to do that. Hey, what's
No.
up, Terry?
Yeah.
His wife calls him Hot Toy.
But a bum.
I got no control over them, you know.
I'll take it. Like I said, there's worse things in life to be called.
Thank you for the tier one. Oh, you just got gifted a tier one from Marty.
Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hey, Cool Toy, nice TIYs behind you. Do you have a Rubik's Cube
Yeah,
Deluxe?
I don't have a Rubik's Cube Deluxe. In fact, I am not ashamed to admit that I am too unintelligent to understand and solve the mystery that is the Rubik's Cube. I understand there's like patterns involved, but to me, it's just like 5 minutes of fiddling, and then it's like, okay, I don't have the time. I can't do this.
Cool, Daddy. How about this one, Doug?
Okay, see, now you're just making it even more complicated. Like I couldn't do the square. Like in theory, I ought to be able to do that, right? It's got one less side, but
Yeah, I just read the book. That's all I did. I cheated.
I mean, but you solved it. See, I didn't even know there was a book.
Back in the
You're
day,
already two
no,
steps ahead of me.
I didn't do stickers, Terry. Stickers were for punks to
Where you
peel the stickers off.
Yeah, yeah. See, I wouldn't have tried that because I would never got the stickers back on. They would have been crooked
Yeah.
and just not happening.
Everybody knows if you did that that you did that.
Hmm.
So Doug, how'd you manage to get to go to Expo without me?
So like I said, I went up there and
There he
said
is.
my name is Smith, And they said, Mono Smith, yeah, we've been expecting you. I said, no, 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 no. We don't want him. We want to be this guy presently. So I basically took your place. But it was just a last second deal. All the stars aligned. Like I had babysitter lined up for the kid, had plenty of time to take off from my actual day job. So I just took a 8.5 hour jaunt up to Chicago, and it
Wow.
was a great time.
You drove?
Once you get past to St. Louis, it's literally nothing but like cornfields and nothingness. So that side of the drive is a little rough, but yeah, it was okay. Just listened to podcasts and music, and it was all right. Stayed awake.
Name one podcast you listened to.
That I listened to. So I listened to a bunch of wrestling podcasts and nostalgia podcasts about toy collecting. And
Where's Mr. Hardluck?
Yeah.
They would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Irod? I didn't see you there. How are you? All right, let's get into it. Welcome to Pinball Expo. This was your first time at Expo. And
yes.
so, like I said, Doug's a YouTuber. I got to live the Expo experience through CoolToy.
Vicariously.
Vicariously. If you go to his channel, you get to see a bunch of things. And we're not gonna sit and like watch Doug's stuff with Doug, because I'm sure that would be a boring video for even him. But I will jump through. I will jump through some of it. And okay, let's go in order. Magic Girl was there again.
It was. From my understanding, it was better than years past, but I mean, I don't have any, foundation to understand or appreciate if that's true or not. To me, it was an awful gameplay experience, whether it was set up incorrectly or not. But most of the time, you couldn't even get the ball to plunge up, to get the ball started, and then when it did, it would come firing out of a scoop straight down the middle. Like I watched somebody in front of me drain 3 times without ever having a opportunity to even get a flipper on it. And then I went behind them and drained the first 2 balls the exact same fashion. And then finally I got a flipper on it on the third. So I did get to flip it for a little while, but I mean, it's like I said, for anybody that knows the history of this game and the long winding road that it took to even exist, and why this guy even has a brand new unboxed one. I mean, it's an interesting tale, and it's an experience to say the least. Just to say, I got to play that goofy thing.
Yeah. Yep. It's as if you played Hercules. You just go, I got to play that goofy thing.
Yeah, it's a box you check off on the little pinball experience list, and you say, all right, now that's out of my system. Move on to bigger and better things.
So did they really have 45? I don't know what to say.
Or best price. Offer. Yeah, 45
OBO?
grand was. Yeah.
45K OBO.
So yeah, I mean, there was some play on that price, but it was Magic Girl, and then literally a crate right next to it that was like caution wrapped, and then it had the sign that said 45,000 OBO, and I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I don't even know
if you're interested. Yeah, if you're interested in the history of Magic Girl, it's what's the word?
It's worth Googling. Yeah.
Yeah, just Google it. Yeah.
Because it's a long-winded, winding road of deception and fake money and bouncing around from company to company and IOUs and just best wishes to anybody that has ever plopped down any money towards that game in any fashion whatsoever.
Hey, Il Robinson, what's up, buddy? So they had a working Hercules. Now, here's what's funny. We've got a Hercules at the Pinball Museum in Alameda. Actually, it's not out on the floor, but I've played this a bunch. So we'll move on, right, from there.
Yeah, I mean, it exists. Like I said, it's a niche. It's something you can tell the kids or show the kids, like, hey, look at this egregious sized machine that has a pool cue as a pinball. Let's check it out. And kids for sure are like, absolutely, what the heck is this going? Like, what? Yeah, and most of them can't. They don't even have the wingspan to reach. But I mean, it has almost zero tilt. Like, I mean, as far as it's plain, it's almost levels, and it doesn't play like a pinball machine. You just feel like you're playing an oversized game of Plinko with maybe some more sound effects.
You know who streamed that? Marty might know this. I think Laserlos streamed Hercules. I think Laserlos.
But that was an interesting
streamed
camera. You gotta have like the top-down camera, what, like 15 foot in the air to get that playfield?
I know. You're not using my coat rack.
No.
Yeah, LOD streamed it a few times. Los streamed it a few times. Yeah. Hercules had a Bigfoot themed redesign. Isaiah, are you serious? Did you see that, Doug?
I saw that in text. I was not aware of that being. So did it like exist, or is it one of those things like it was supposed to happen and then never came to fruition?
I can't imagine anybody wanting to redesign that thing. Like, where do you get one? Like, they're.
Well, yeah. I mean, they had a hard enough time selling the Hercules. They're like, all right, let's throw Bigfoot on there because, yeah, that's what the arcades want. Bigfoot.
Well, one of the things that's great about Expo is that you got to look at that beautiful face, that man right there.
Yeah, look at that. Talking to himself in the hotel room.
I know. I was like, when your first video went up, I was like, oh shit, this dude is legit. So you came knowing that you had to put out content. Like,
had to and want to. I mean, it's both kind of like a 50-50. Like, I got to justify, the expense and driving out there because I pay, everything's out of my own pocket or whatever. So,
yeah.
For, like we said, tax write-offs, I got to justify my expense of being there so I can try to get some of that money back. But plus, I like to capture my own experience, whether it be for YouTube or just personal accord, say, hey, this is what I saw and did, and this was my experience. And, while it's fresh, and there was also a bunch of new games that I know people were interested in. And the biggest gripe was always like, can't wait to see some crappy cell phone footage of a new game. And I was like, well, try to do you one better than I'll give you some crappy DSLR footage. But I mean, do something for the people.
Did you have anybody that was able to shoot you playing a game?
Yes. So one guy was, when I was playing Elton John, he's like, you want to record me? Or you want me to record you? I'm like, yeah, sure, if you don't mind. And then he tried to grab my DSLR. Like, appreciate it, but no, I don't know you enough to hand you, like my gear that is quite expensive.
What do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna run out of the.
No, but like, I don't know if you've ever given somebody a camera that doesn't, know much about a camera. Like, first thing they do is push the wrong button, and then you're like, oh, okay. So I'm like, yeah, sure, here's my phone or whatever. And as soon as I saw him, he's like panning in, zooming, and everything. I was like, well, I should have gave you my DSLR. I'm sorry, I misjudged you for a fool.
Now, Game Club Central is telling me, do I recall what happened to George? Yeah, but that's a different story, Marty. George decided to go to a movie and leave all the gear in his car.
Oh, yeah.
And then we
never
came out. Yeah. Anyway,
I grew up in very shady areas, so I know better than that. Like, I will lock the door to take the trash out.
Yeah, exactly. They had a Flintstones there. They had the novelty Flintstones.
I was about to say they had the ice. What was it like? Yeah, I think Ice Makes It or whatever. They had that one, and then of course they had the Williams one as well that I saw out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Marty. I know that Paladin had his catalytic converter stolen. That's terrible. So you did get to play any new Sterns you liked? It was just Venom. Venom's the only new Stern.
Yeah, I was about to say I got to play Venom when I got premiered at Comic-Con, and since then the codes update a little bit, which is nice. I still hate the Pro with a passion, but I enjoy the premium.
Okay. Oh, this is good because we have different opinions. Ooh.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, and normally I'm a pro guy. Like, I'm all for it. I think they're great value, and most of the time, but like Venom Pro to me just feels way too stripped down. And like, there's a local barcade in my area that has literally Venom Pro, Foo Fighters Pro, Godzilla Pro, and James Bond Pro, all four next to each other. And if you tell me, or you tell a casual person, all those machines are the same one, same price, do you think they're all, accordingly featured? Most people are going to say, no.
Okay, wait a minute. Flipstream.
Okay.
Flipstream is a mod. Flipstream. Can you make a poll? Venom Pro versus Premium. If you can make a poll for me, Pro versus Premium, I would like to say. So let's do this, Doug. You give me your reasons why you feel this is all subjective, people. Let's calm down, okay?
Yeah. Nobody's getting shot.
Oh, you can't? You're on mobile? Okay. No one's getting shot. I would have done it anyway. We could just do it in the chat. If you like the Pro, say Pro. If you like the Premium, say Premium. Doug, go ahead. You got 30 seconds.
Okay. And so I dislike the Pro because I feel it is too stripped down. The mechanism for the choose your own host that's in the Premium that physically changes the shot 4 different ways, I think is integral. The doppelganger, hokey, but not having it on the Pro feels like it's just missing way too many things, especially with the like connecting ramp that comes with that mechanism. And I think the shot/fan layout is maybe a little too similar on the Pro. I compared it to Mandalorian Pro, Brian Hannity's last game, and I just think it's not diverse enough with that fan layout, but equally like where the main center ramp is and the little horseshoe ramp. I think that's way too similar to Mandalorian to be a justifiable $7,000 machine.
Okay. What? How much more?
The Pro's $7,000 these days.
The Pro 7,000. Yeah. The Premium is
like 9 or 10 or 9, 7, 8. It's basically $10,000.
I just need to check. 9K.
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah. It's over that because they've raised the price like twice in the last year and a half. It's like 9,800, I think, or 9,699. One of those Walmart type of pricing.
Yeah, this is 6,999, and then Premium. We're not even going to look at the limited. Yeah, 9,699. Okay, so here's why I think the Pro is better than the Premium.
Okay.
Speed. The game keeps you on your toes. The changing playfield thing, to me, is a nice gimmick, but it reeks of slowing the game down for me and overcomplicating what, at its core, is a fast, comic book style shooter where the shots just whip around and come back at you. Now, mind you, I like the moving mechs, but the first time I played a Premium, the sucker broke and my game was over. So I'm going to choose the Pro because the rule set, I think, is... I do agree about the doppelganger. I think maybe you could just put the doppelganger in the Pro and we're good. Yeah. Instead of making one of the 3 shots at the top. But at its core, I think Venom wants to be a fast shooter, considering the fact that it has those fast feeders on the sides. And, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
Point counter.
I enjoyed the game. Yeah, I enjoy the game, and you're right. It is very fast. Those mechs do slow it down a little bit. I just competed in a Venom launch party tournament, and I feel like the entire time I play Venom, I'm always fighting side to side because it feels like it's just constantly aiming for those outlanes. Whereas you get the wide open layout, and you feel like, okay, I got more time to react, but it's still always just way too much side to side where I'm just constantly doing this, which ups the ante of the anxiety and the pinball play.
I really suck at Venom, but I appreciate the Pro layout. Let's look at the chat and just see what people are saying. All right, so we've got Isaiah, who actually blew up the game when we streamed it together. Venom Pro is really stripped, but it seems like with a fan layout, you don't need many bells and whistles to get the same experience. Lynn in Denver. I've enjoyed playing Venom Pro, but I haven't had a chance to play a Venom Premium yet. The barcade I go to for tournament just changed from Pro to Premium, so I'll be able to see how improved it is. I don't think Frigo Watch, I think Matt Henry agrees with me. I don't think he's going to get the Premium, and he's going to stick with the Pro. Irod says, Pro for me personally. Flipstream, of course, says, but is 2K worth it?
Well, that's the big argument nowadays anyway. I mean, because when the prices of what, up 1,500, 1,700, 1,800 over the last couple years, I mean, it really makes the justification between the two very hard.
Yeah. Il Robin says, if I'm honest, I'm pretty neutral about it. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Who has never played either game. That's like my best friend in Austin. He's being ball. He's being ball. So Ghost Flipper says, I'll take either if they just give them away.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you got to see some Stern. What's nice about the Stern booth is they didn't have a carpet this year.
That is one thing I was going to bring up. Like like I said, I didn't get to go. This is my first time, but I heard everybody at the show lamenting about how they didn't have carpet and they were kind of lackluster on their merch. And I guess, carpet's kind of like a big to do because you're on concrete everywhere else. And then Stern's like, hey, we got the cushy trade show carpet, but not this year, apparently.
No carpet this year.
No carpet.
Maybe.
And that Insider Connected score you just saw and kind of glimpse on my video there. It was a teeny tiny TV, and that was the only one.
Oh, this looks huge. Is this a cell phone?
No, it's I think it's like a 32-inch TV that was on the pole next to the Venom face, and that was it. It was like a place that no one really even paid attention to, and they only just had one. Yeah, so heard a lot of people saying, Stern of all the people, the big dog kind of phoned it in, is what the general impression I got from a lot of the people that had been in years past.
All the money is in their new factory, Marty. Emoto was running a Stern merch. That's my buddy. Emoto.
I did see her there. Yeah.
Yeah. You look down though, right? Because you won't see her.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah.
I'm not being mean, guys. I'm just being factual. Hey, Pulp Fiction.
Yes. Fun game.
Talk to me.
So when this first got, announced that, hey, they're making a Pulp Fiction game, I was like, oh, super excited. I'm going to see this Pulp Fiction game. It's probably going to have, your standard little 15-inch LCD. We're going to have movie clips and assets or whatever. And then we saw the reveal of the actual game, and I was like, no, that's not what I was anticipating at all. I thought it was going to be a modern game. Instead, it's an old game designed by Mark Ritchie. Like, what is going on? Like, I was so unimpressed because I had a preconceived notion of what it was going to be, and then it didn't meet my expectations. So I just kind of written it off, and I had a buddy went to Expo last year, put pre-order down, and here it is a year later, and he still hasn't got his machine. But I was like, all right, well, I'll go check it out. Like, I've enjoyed all Chicago Gaming's games thus far, the remakes and everything. So I'm like, I know they can make a good machine, but let's see this. So I went and played it, and yeah, it is a retro layout, but it still has some interesting shots, and you still get the speech call outs from all the actors. It has modes, which a retro machine of that kind of design typically wouldn't. So it won me over. It was it flips like you would expect a modern day machine. It has an older layout, so I liken it to like the Bond 60th or whatever, the Keith Elwin special edition that he designed. Kind of the same principle, you got an old retro layout, but still modern sensibilities. So I completely changed my tune once I played it. It's a great game.
Yeah.
Theme integration, fantastic. It's just, when are you ever going to get your machine from Chicago Gaming Company? That's the problem. They seem to not be able to keep up with demand.
Looks like they're saying in chat that going into production in 2 weeks.
A year later. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a combination of Chicago Gaming Company and those guys at Raw Thrills, believe it or not.
Yeah, so people that, we associate with like Big Buck Hunter and, you'd go to the mall and see the Jurassic Park arcade and the ginormous Halo arcade and all those type of things. Yeah, that's an odd combo, but I mean, clearly something works with that relationship. So maybe we'll see some future surprises.
If this is a one and done, I'd be fine with that. I mean, when I got to play Pulp Fiction last year with Al Anonymous and Game Club Central, we were all playing. This is the only game that we all got in line again to play. Number one, because it kind of brutally murdered us on the first go.
Yeah.
But I was incredibly impressed at what they did with a street level play field, mostly street level, right? I mean, you have a kicker that goes, but it's not when you don't have a ramp, you're talking street level. Very intuitive locks. Hey, Fliptronic, how you doing, buddy? I agree, man. It was. Did you see the topper in action?
No, and I was surprised because I'd seen videos and pictures of it from last year's, debut and everything. Not a topper to be seen, which there was the argument
No.
of, yeah, I don't know why, but there was no topper on the machines
Well, okay.
because I wanted to see, firsthand the little shimmy shake and the twisting and everything.
You know what? Okay, I sure hope that topper isn't $2,000, but it's
Well, I
super
mean, the only way you can
fun.
get it is to buy the bad
The
MFer
Bad Mother
version.
Flipper, the Bad
Yeah,
Mother Flipper
yeah,
edition. Yeah. Um, 6 machines. They're not gonna sell the topper separately, only with the LE, and the LEs are
yeah,
sold out. I hear.
yeah,
Um, it's fun. It's fun, Doug. It's
yeah.
not like it's not a game changer. It's not like an integrated topper like on Cactus Canyon's remake,
No, but
but it's
going
fun.
with theme integration, I mean, it
Yeah.
drives it home. I mean, little things
They
like that, like,
they
and they're
actually
not for
turn to
everyone. I
you.
get it. Yeah,
The characters turn to you and they go and they
mhm.
flash when they talk.
And yeah, a speech call out comes out. It's in sync. It's great.
It's great. All right.
Hmm.
Yeah. If you guys in the chat have any opinions about any of these games we're talking about, oh, look at that. Wait, was that Jules? That was Jules. If you guys
Yep.
have any opinions about what we're talking about, just throw it in the chat. Doug
And the
and
rotating
I are
briefcase in the background. I love that.
the yeah, and the fact that when
Opens
the
up just
briefcase,
enough.
I know, yes, when the
Yeah.
briefcase turns to face you again, it's closed. So
Yep.
some jerk is gonna take the mod and just show it on this. This is what's in the briefcase.
It's gonna ruin everything.
It's gonna ruin everything. Fabulous game, played really
Hmm.
well. Pulp Fiction is great. Yeah, so Fliptronic is here. Is another one who's definitely owned a lot of games and is a hardcore player. Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. Hey, Captain 12, how are you? We're here with, or I'm here. I'm here with Doug from CoolToy. I was using the Royal We again, Doug. I don't like that.
That's fine.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Perfectly placed. Perfectly placed.
Queen.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's talk about Queen and Alien. Talk to me.
Yeah. So I got more nice things to say about Alien than I do Queen. Like Queen, I mean, I love the band, so the theme of the music integration and having all the songs and stuff, that's great. Playfield layout, not my favorite.
I
And then
know. I
I
agree.
played multiple games like machines and kept having the same issue where I was getting the ball to hang out. There's a line of drop targets that are like piano keys on the left hand side, I think, and I would hit them and then the ball would get stuck on top of it and then it would just hang up and there was no like ball search, so it would have freed out. So I'm like shaking the machine, tilt. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's not like I had to put quarters in it, but I'm like, all right, let's start this game again. Let's do it again. And like a full plunge seemed to just like bank off a ramp every single time, like the side of a ramp, and like had no real clear direction of where it was ever supposed to go. And I'm like, what? I don't know what the objective for a skill shot would even be. And I don't know. Like it feels like the band deserved better. Like they clearly tried to do them justice. Like, I mean, there's like a guitar upper playfield, and like they tried to really tie in, musical elements to it, but it just
Those drops you're talking about.
yes. So I would hit the ball and it would like land on top of that target and it would just sit there for eternity until I either beat the machine or tilted.
Yeah, so I played this last year too, and Marty makes a good point. The flippers to We Will Rock You, and there's one other mode that I think if you flip,
With
right,
yeah.
that can only carry you but so far. I did
That's
not
great
like,
coding, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't like code can't fix shots and layout. I mean, and that's where I had issues. I mean, if you can give me an example, can you give me an example of a code that fixes a terrible layout?
Ghostbusters! Ghostbusters!
Ghostbusters is not a bad layout. It's just got the flipper issue with having a mile long gap in between.
I know the flippers are like this.
Yeah, they already look like somebody like installed them wrong because they look droopy, and then there's a football field in between them.
I gotta agree, Doug. The like, and there's like Scolari brothers on Queen that drove me nuts.
They would pop up and just they were
unless,
bad. Like
unless your
Cactus
name
Canyon
is
has
Cactus
those
Canyon,
pop-up targets. Yeah,
but
which
they're
is good.
good.
Yeah, it's good how it's integrated. It's coded exceptionally well where they pop up and draw and then they go back down. They don't interrupt you. Those, like, I couldn't tell you why or how they kept popping up, but they were just getting in the way all the time. And it wasn't like, oh, you hit the target, here's a bunch of points. It was like, hey, you hit this target that just annoyed the shit out of you, here's 50 points.
There it is. What are they, groupies? Are they the groupies? The groupies popped up.
Yeah. And like the flipper, like I know, these games get played a lot or whatever, but I got to play them a little before the show doors would even open. So like the flippers were still fresh and I couldn't make it up that center ramp half the time. It would just like go up and trickle down, go up and trickle down. I'm like, I can't imagine playing this for an hour and a half and getting some flipper fade and being able to hit that if I can't hit it when it's fresh. So yeah.
See,
I wanted to like
fun
this.
Queen.
Wanted to like it, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I like the band, like the music, like listening to the game being played, but it just not for me. Not for me.
I like listening. Yeah, there's a quote. There's an endorsement. I like listening to the game being played. Doug from CoolToy.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna put that on the flyer for sure.
Cam 12 says, I never had fun playing Queen. It makes me sad. The plunge to drop targets driving me bonkers. Amiga Cami. I think Pulp Fiction looks great. I really like how it's a bit retro, but it's not something that I felt I could afford. Yeah, Pulp Fiction was about 8,000, I think.
That was another thing that kind of surprised me when that got announced was you see the retro layout and everything, and then you see the price tag, and you're like, you don't really technically have movie clips in this. I'm like, yeah, you got actors' likenesses and speech, but like,
I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
where'd all the licensing money go? I don't know how that works. Queen layout just seems generic, not inspired. Gotta agree. Terry just says put bigger flippers in. Hey Sam, Salamas.
Yes.
Help me, Doug. Salamas 87.
I'm nod and smile. Yes, Salamas. Yes.
not
Salamas 87.
All right, 8K. The licensing money went to the licensing money. That's Grammy. Thank you, Grammy.
Yep.
I forget to read who is the poster before I read their chat message. Grammy gets me all the time. But we still have to get to Doug's best of show, which is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad.
I mean, it is. I am biased about that. So I mean, I have a personal connection to that theme. So, but yeah, this is the first time I got to play Alien.
What did you think of Alien?
Enjoyed. It's nice.
It's good. Yeah,
it's good. I like the theme they got with the pop bumpers and the hatching eggs, and it feels a little too stop and go maybe for my liking as far as like just the gameplay experience. For me, it felt like I would make a shot and then it would hold the ball and here's a clip and let go and light the arrows, hit 2 arrows, hold the ball, and I was like, can we maybe keep it going?
Is this the Get Away From Her, You Bitch edition? Wait, that's not true. That's not
yes.
Sorry.
No, the Ripley version is, I played that.
There we go, the Ripley, sorry, the Ripley version.
Yeah. Which I forget the details of that. Like they just recently, I think, signed that deal where they got the likeness of Sigourney Weaver. And like on the back glass or the advertisement or whatever, her like face is still covered. So I was like, is that like pending?
Oh, really?
Like, yes, approval. Yeah. Like I was like, I don't know what that's about.
I'm saving my money for waiting for government table. Man was harassing me while I was playing Alien, so I couldn't get the full experience. No, Aliens is fun. Aliens less stressful for Manu compared to future pinball version.
That future pinball. Yeah.
Yeah. Flip News says Big Lebowski was there. I think Big Lebowski is a great game. Unfortunately, we can't keep ours working a lot. I freak a watch.
I've heard that as far as
breaks a lot.
durability issues. I think it's a
breaks a
great
lot.
game. I think it's overpriced.
Well, this is
And-
the granddaddy of overpriced
Yeah, I
games. Like
mean-
there was Beatles and this were like
Neck and
12,000.
neck. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
15,000 now these days or whatever. But I mean, it's got some interesting mechs and stuff. But like, I don't see $15,000. Again, that goes back to the licensing because this one does have like movie clips and assets and actors likenesses or whatever. But supposedly the rumor is that this company also is going to be in control of a Back to the Future pinball, and I'm like, I can't afford that then.
Dutch Pinball?
Supposedly,
They're gonna-
that was the talk of the expo is supposedly Dutch has a working relationship with Universal, and that
Oh,
it
okay.
ain't going to be Stern. It's going to be Dutch that does the Back to the Future.
Okay. That's good as long
Breaking
as they,
news. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Sorry.
that's good as long as they build it a little better.
Well, that's build it a little better, but I'm like, you can't keep up with demand currently for your Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
How are you going to keep up with demand for Back to the Future trilogy, which is immensely more, popular as far as popular culture? Yeah, Capri says you'll have to wait, 8 years to get it.
Oh, don't talk to me about this game. Please move on. Please move on from this game. Wait. Okay, wait, Doug. Wait, I haven't never spoken to you about
Galactic Tank Force.
Go ahead.
What's not to like? I mean, it has 3D printed toys on it.
It's got 3D printed toys. And I love how don't you pick a shot? You just take the meanest shot, too.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, it wouldn't be a shot if it wasn't for the price tag. Like,
What-
there's certain
look at
levels
it.
of yeah.
What
I
a
shouldn't
dick.
be able to see the 3D print lines. Like, me and you can print that.
I know.
I don't expect to see something that Joe Schmo can print in their garage on a commercial product. Like, I expect a higher level of professionalism as far as toys and like everyone makes fun of Stern for not having the best sculpts for their toys, but like at least they're sculpted. They're not 3D printed. Like that to me looks like somebody bought a mod and put it in their game, which to each their own, that's fine. Like if you bought a mod that was 3D printed and put it in your game, that's fine. But you weren't charged $10,000 for a game that came with 3D printed mods.
There should be cooler toys. I like that, Marty. Yeah, a clearly 3D printed thing shouldn't end up in your production unit. That should be injection molded.
Correct. I mean, that's what you use to do your production, or not production, but your prototype, your
prototyping.
testing and everything. You're like, okay, this is all right. Now go mold it, go sculpt it, do whatever. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed playing the game. They clearly had fixed the tank issues that we're having, I guess, last year when it got debuted, because it was like airballing and ricocheting and just death instantly. Yeah. I didn't experience that, so that was good. I enjoyed the gameplay.
Right.
The theme, of course, being a hokey, crazy Attack from Mars meets 90s Bally Williams type stuff. I'm fine with that.
I got two problems with this game. Number one, the tank.
Mm-hmm.
It kills you because it's right in the middle. Number two, there's like 4 shots on the table. So
yeah,
and that's around
that
the tank.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like it had 2 ramps and a diverter that you could control with the third button or whatever. But one of those ramps, I struggled to get it up all the time. It was just like halfway down. I attribute that to just being expo played for 14 hours a day. But I enjoyed their other machines more. If I had to pick any of the American pinball ones.
Yeah, my top machine up from them is Hot Wheels, of course.
Yeah.
That game is great.
I enjoy Houdini a lot. It's very tight shots, though. That was like my biggest criticism about it.
I liked Houdini.
I like the mech where it goes in the milk can and chucks the ball in the back of the magic trunk. I think that's super cool. I like the theme, Houdini. That's a neat theme. It's a cheaper IP for sure, but it's still recognizable. I think that's their bread and butter.
Doug, Il Robinson brings up a good question. Is the desire for hand sculpted toys about authenticity? I'm gonna say no. I think it's more about cost.
Correct. And yeah, because like I don't need that to look like an actual tank. I mean, it looks like, you know, some sort of space thing or whatever. They can take creative liberties with it, but like, yeah, it just going back to the professionalism and the polish, like that's
What's
where
the
my
cost?
desire for.
Let me see. How much is a galactic tank for us?
Don't they have like their two models, like an 8,000 and a 10,000 model?
Oh, geez, I don't know how to work websites. they won't. Somebody tell me how much this damn machine costs.
Yeah, I mean, there's the hokey tank version, but I think that was like maybe a limited quantity.
What? They won't tell me. I hate sites that do this. They're not gonna tell me.
No, you got to go to a distributor.
Isaiah, Hot Wheels is a good game. I can't make you a fan of American, but Hot Wheels is a good game. Okay.
And I said in my video, I think American Pinball is like this company that's like on the precipice of being successful, but they just
close.
They can't break through. Like they need.
Look,
something.
You're doing the same. You're doing the same thing.
Literally doing the same thing. Perfectly timed.
Perfectly timed. You and Doug were like, you almost made it. You almost made it. Okay, I got the price. The deluxe is $9,295. Hot Wheels breaks so fast. Well, okay. I mean, I mean, if yours broke, that sucks. Ours hasn't broken. Not for a while. LE tank is $10,995. So that's the issue, Il Robinson, is these guys spend a lot on these machines. So when you look inside and you see a clearly 3D printed part, it's not like 3D printing is
bad.
Awful.
Yeah, I don't mean to like thumb my nose at 3D printing. It's just like for that price point, it shouldn't be a thing. Like that's a whole like I expect 3D printed products on like the home version of a Stern game or something like that. You know, like that'd be more acceptable because it's a completely different price demographic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna move on from that. From what I've seen of Hot Wheels on Twitch, it looks really good. I'd love one, but again, it's out of my price range. Yeah, I mean, it can't. No, actually, Hot Wheels is. Well, look. I can't tell you what your price range is, right? So I'm not gonna disagree with you, but they're not gonna show me the friggin' price. Let's do the smart thing. Pin side.
Well, I was supposed to say, it's always been my understanding that American was like slightly priced below Stern, so like a couple $100 below Stern's Pro and Premium pricing.
So estimated value of a Hot Wheels is relatively inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 57 to 66. Hot Wheels is neat, but I don't know. It's just okay with this layout. Isaiah, we have to chat. I reject your reality. Yeah, I know. I reject your reality and substitute my own, Isaiah. Okay, we're gonna skip vendors. Let's get to the meat right now. I would love to talk to you about at games, but I am not. We're gonna talk a little bit about. Talk to me about Labyrinth. Did you have a specific video on Labyrinth, or did I miss Labyrinth in your video?
Yeah, I made a dedicated video. I briefly mentioned it in my wrap-up just because I didn't want to, repeat myself.
Oh, all right. Look at that. Oh my. Okay, go ahead, Doug. Tell us about Labyrinth.
So yeah, I kind of like it a lot. Clearly, as you can see from the goofy, self-deprecating Halloween clips, I have a personal connection to the movie. I named my kid after David Bowie. It's one of my favorite films. I'm a huge Muppet fan. It checks all like my boxes of nostalgia and desire. It's got officially licensed David Bowie music from the film. It's got movie clips. The thing it doesn't have is Jennifer Connelly's likeness, and they've given a PR spin answer as to why that is, but honestly, I just think it comes down to cost, which is an understandable thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a company that literally came out of nowhere, said, hey, not only did we make a game that, you know, is a niche 80s dream for some people, we also already made it. Like, we're not taking money from people and gonna promise you a game 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. It's like, no, we literally incurred all the costs our own, made some machines, proved that we could do it. We'll sell you some more, but it's got some cool things that, you know, no one else has really done in a while, like the secondary LCD there.
So Doug, can people in chat just please tell me I'm not crazy? I've seen that the backboard animation. Is that was like a third-party thing that was being sold for games, right? Thank you, Bill Robinson. He said I'm not
particular
crazy.
screen.
This particular screen, I remember seeing like a year ago or years ago. They were like, "Hey, you can upgrade your game with a moving back."
So it was my understanding after talking to CEO or whatever you want to call him, David Van Ness. He had bought these screens from the Deep Root liquidation.
Right. Okay.
For pennies on the dollar, and originally they had the idea they were going to have mechs back there that had the little guys that go up and down that we saw kind of in that clip, and they realized that was like space consuming, expensive or whatever, and somebody said, why don't you just put an LCD back there that, you know, you got those, you know, that you bought in bulk or whatever, and he's like, that can work.
Yeah.
And
see, that's the thing. Yeah. So
there.
People in chat are saying, yeah, you see, I've seen it as a mod. It was a mod. Yeah. So everybody's saying it's a mod. All right. I interrupted you. Go ahead. Let's continue.
You're fine. But no, like, they did a really good job on this game. Like, it felt solid. You know, the biggest question marks when you hear, hey, a new company comes out of nowhere and makes a game or whatever, you're like, okay, do they know how to make a game? Like, it's one thing to, you know, dress up a pig or whatever, but is it fun to shoot? Does it tie in with the theme? Does it have decent rules? All those type of things. And like, I played it several times over the weekend, and I mean, it's got great people behind it, like people that know pinball. To me, it felt like a solid, well-built machine. It was the hit of the show. That thing was lined up for people 24/7. The entire show was open. I was getting played 14, 15 hours straight. I talked to him on day 2, and I was like, so what's the status? Like, you know, what's broke? What's falling off your machines? He said, we had one screw fall off under one of the things. He's like, we got under there and put it back on and put some Loctite on it. And he's like, looking at it, he's like, we realized it was a mistake that somebody did, you know, at the manufacturing process. He's like, so that gives us good feedback to go back and make sure we don't make that mistake again. He's like, but other than that, he's like, we haven't had any issues. And I can attest to that, because I didn't ever see them cracking it open and having, sorry guys, you know, we got to do this to it or whatever. Those things ran like champs the entire week.
Amiga Cami, did you say that you have one on order? And while Amiga Cami answers that,
she pre-ordered that. She's got one on pre-order. And I am ready to pre-order.
Super jelly.
Meatball saucy. I am ready to pre-order. I just need to sell a game first. So I could like put it on a credit card right now, but Mama raised a smarter kid than that. I don't buy things that I can't immediately pay off or afford right then and there, and that's just the way I operate my life. So I will put it on pre-order the moment I have the funds secured, and not a moment prior, just because it feels a little irresponsible to me. But I mean, if anybody's familiar with this movie or whatever, theme integration, like little things like that, like the heads popping out of the apron and the back of the, you know, the back corner, that it's so in tune with the theme and the scenes in the movie. And then like,
wait, okay,
I like how they,
all right, Doug, come on. You're talking to Manu right now, okay?
Yeah.
All right, just you and me. What is it? The theme, or I think it's the theme. Is the theme and the game is good? What pushed you
probably
over?
60-40. So like, theme starts. The theme is always like my main focus personally. That's typically what I gravitate first and foremost to. That's just the nature of, you know, what I like about pinball. But I actually enjoy playing this game. Yeah, it's a shooter. It had some, you know, lots of interesting mix. A lot of the shots change path, which ties in with the theme, which is really good. But it also allows for a more versatile game. You don't feel like you're just doing the same repetition hit this over and over again, because there's diverters, there's things that would change the ball path. I think the price is really good for the value. Like, I feel like
What
you're
is the
getting
price?
like your 10.6.
10.6, okay.
So for 10.6, I feel like you're getting like a Stern LE for cheaper, because you
And
got
you
Kenwood speakers in the back box. You got RGB lights that are actually coded to integrate with the game itself. You got powder coating. You got an upgraded 8-inch sub. I think it's 8-inch, but yeah, upgraded subwoofer. You got the secondary LCD back there, as well as your standard one. Like I said, you got licensed David Bowie music. You got
that shooter rod.
That shooter rod. So like,
gonna...
it looks exactly like it should from the movie, but it's the most obnoxious thing ever. Like, I'm a huge fan of the movie, but I don't think I could have that hot dog sticking off, because it literally sticks out like, I'm probably not even exaggerating, 9 inches. Yeah, I mean, I would smack my hip on that for sure. My kid, I guarantee, he's gonna forehead himself.
Yeah.
Like the Ninja Turtle like sword plunger, I think is cool, but it sticks out too far for me. Like,
yeah, they get that a little silly. I just want to hit up on Amiga Cami one more time. Amiga Cami, was it the theme? Because clearly you haven't played it yet, but I'm just wondering if it's the theme that sold you. And Doug, you mentioned that Bowen was like, Bowen Kerins, the amazing the pin professor himself, was there. First of all, I got to say, Bowen helped with the rules, and you're solid. But
he's definitely a guy you want feedback from. But like, I got to speak with him, and he was there, just kind of in the wing, ready to talk to or explain to anybody. All you'd have to do is say, "Hey, how do I play this game?" And he would do his, pin professor, put his hat on, and then just start walking you through it. And he could immediately, obviously, tell who's a skilled player and who's not. So he could, change and dictate different tips and tricks and things that they should go for. But I mean, he's Johnny on the spot all day, every day, helping out, like all hands on deck. Like, definitely, there you go.
But, you like my game? All right. Oh.
Yeah. And that topper, look at that topper, man. Like, I don't know,
this is
how many people are familiar with the movie, but like, it's a 1-to-1 scale ratio. The Muppets, like, they said on site, like, hey, we barely have anything coded in this right now, because we're still doing things, but it's like we've got plenty of plans for more call outs, because they talk trash to you. Like, the two on the outside,
did their mouth move?
No moving mouth, like it just turns and the eyes light up, whatever. But like, they blink, and as far as the flashing of the LEDs, and they talk smack as far as you drain too quick or whatever. They said they got a lot more call outs and stuff, but like, it's $980 for that topper, which again is a lot of money. But you look at something like that, and then you look at something like, I don't know, a Stern Jurassic Park topper that's like $800. That's acrylic and LED strips.
Yeah. Well, so
I mean, I love Stern. Obviously, I've got multiple Stern machines, but like, if you try to compare, like, value and that type of thing, it looks like night and day. And like, who would have thought a company with their first game that makes a game like this goes so all in on something that they would, make something like that.
Okay, Il Robinson, what do you think about that topper? Il Robinson is a very talented, I would just say it's a very talented person who could tell good stuff. We don't have a lot of time, so I want to jump to the other star of the show. Okay. So Labyrinth is a win for you. That was show win. I'm so happy for you. Wait, did you say you put a deposit or not yet?
Not yet, but I will be. Like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Very cool. All right. What games do you currently have?
So currently I have Simpsons Pinball Party. I have Stranger Things Pro. I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Premium. I have Mandalorian Pro. And I technically still own South Park. I've sold it to a friend, but he's paying me in payments, and I don't really technically have to worry about him like screwing me over or things like that. But he's taking possession of it, and I'm just taking monthly payments. So I think I own like 40% of South Park.
So what's gonna go? What leaves?
I mean, yeah, I have some arcade cabinets as well, so I may sell two of those and then one of my pinball machines, or I would have to technically sell two because this is an expensive machine. So
Another game down the drain. You got that right, right?
Simpsons is not leaving. I can tell you that. Like right now, that is my current favorite.
Good.
I enjoy it. It's just I don't see it going ever.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, and there was a lot at the show I'm skipping over, but we all want to talk about Elton John a little bit. Now, why isn't Elton freaking John? The name of this game should be Elton fucking John, really, I think. But why is this not your game of show?
Oh, well, I mean, it.
Look at that! Come on!
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that it doesn't have so many amazing things going for it.
Captain Jack pop bumpers.
Yeah, I actually enjoy Elton John's music a lot, but like,
I love your video was great.
Yeah, it's just I've always been anti JJP just because of their flipper experience, and thankfully that has changed.
Well, you know what, my friend, Steve Ritchie probably took one shot on the prototype and
we had to and that was my first thought too, because like when I heard he was going over there, I'm like, well, they got to do something about the flippers because Mr. King of Flow and like fast gameplay. How do you do that on these flippers that you feel like you're ally throwing the ball up the playfield?
He took one flip on those friggin' Toy Story Pirates mush flippers and was like, I will walk back across the street and go join Stern again if you guys don't get these flippers out of here.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited for Jersey Jack Pinball future if they continue down that trend of having these flippers have enough juice to them. But yeah, I mean, this is an obscene light show for sure. Like I overheard them talking about how they put so many LEDs in this thing that they had essentially ran to max capacity of their power power supply, which does not shock me at all. I think that they're up to like 1,300 LEDs that are individually addressable or something like that. Yeah.
No, it wasn't the lights. It was the fact that Steve Ritchie made them divert all power to the flipper.
That is also very likely.
All power. Fuck these LEDs. Yeah. I want full power flippers. Full power.
But I mean, Elton John fans, they'll surely be happy. I don't know how many of them are out there that are going to spend $15,000 on this machine. They got Elton John call-outs.
Which multi-ball is this?
That literally gives you the power of levitation. Oh yeah. One of the highlights. Yeah. One of the highlights of the show was seeing Mr. Jersey Jack himself walk out of the bathroom in his like Wish.com Elton John sparkly costume. Had the star light up glasses. Oh yeah, there's some sweet pictures online of him, and I've never met the man. He's also very Emoto sized. So seeing this older gentleman that is 5'2" coming out with a sparkly Elton John outfit that also had LED soles on his shoes that would light up was one of the most funny things ever. And I felt bad because like knee-jerk reaction, I just gasped and start laughing hysterically, like almost in his face. And I felt rude because it's not one of those things like I'm not trying to insult you. It's just I was not ready for a older 5'2" gentleman to walk out of the bathroom dressed as Elton John with light up glasses and shoes. Just my mental capacity wasn't framed for that type of exposure.
Apparently, we haven't hung out on the weekends, man. I'm just saying, I got the light ups. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
right,
this
but you
was
got
not.
To play it.
I got to play it. They only had 3 machines total, so they had 2 of their platinum and 1 collectors. So the lines on this bad boy were long just because of sheer lack of machines. It is by far my favorite Jersey Jack machine that I've got to play just for the overall experience. I like the shots. To me, like I said, it felt like roller games. If anyone's ever played roller games, it felt very similar to
Roller games.
roller
Wow.
games and like Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin
Don't
Premium mashed
flip.
up together.
Flip. Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
Artwork's cool. I mean, if you like Chris Franchi's artwork, if you don't, you I think he only actually technically did one of the machines, but they're very similar as far as their art.
I like
You'd be hard
Frenchie.
pressed to, yeah, you'd be hard pressed to honestly tell the difference. Um, like I said, the piano toy. I think that is amazing. You talk about theme integration. Like I said, it has the DMD that goes across the side of the piano. It does like little shoot here and gives you updates. I think that's neat. It
Oh,
even
it
has
does. It
little,
says.
yeah, yeah.
Let me see
It'll
if I can
scroll
find it
across
here.
and like shoot left ramp or whatever, and then has like the little animatronic Elton that sits there and plays and turns his
There it
head,
is.
which that's hilarious. Yeah.
There it is.
So
Yeah.
stuff like that, and then sculpted toys, no 3D printed toys. Better not be for 15 grand for crying out loud.
I know. So, Paul, this is an
But the
example
thing
of
is,
games
with like,
we don't want 3D toys.
yeah, yeah.
But
But like Jersey Jack's always kind of astounded me because they've clearly like said, "Hey, we're not gonna mess with operators. We're just going straight for the home collector." Because like you can't tell me operators are buying these $12,000-$15,000 Jersey Jack machines and like getting their money.
well, not unless you're like next level or
Yeah, but you'd have to be a ginormous, like, big player like Interium or whatever, one of those kind of places that has tons and tons of foot traffic, that's in a large metropolis area that has, copious amounts of people coming through. Like, I mean, just think about how many quarters and dollar bills it would take to just break even.
We're getting one at Frio Watch.
Mm-hmm. You're not getting the 15 grand one, are you?
So there's the CE and then there's the
Yeah, the CE is like the one that has the two screen
The
topper. It's
screens,
15
no.
grand.
they're not getting the CE. The playfields are the same though, right?
Yeah, playfield's
think
the same.
playfield's
It's
the
just like trim, like the topper, and I think maybe the lights on the side are different.
Oh, Next Level is also a distributor, so they get a cost advantage. Okay.
Oh, that helps.
It does help. All right, so your ranking.
Mm-hmm.
What I say your ranking is Labyrinth, Elton John. Well, wait a minute. What's your ranking? Labyrinth, and then give me the 3 top games you saw there.
So new games or just in general? I
New
assume you're-
games.
Yeah.
New games.
So I would say Labyrinth, Elton John, and then probably Pulp Fiction.
Rare Pinball, thank you for the follow.
Yeah. Which is hard because they're obviously so different from one another. Like each one of those are night and day differences, how they approach pinball and their features and all that stuff. But as far as enjoyment and nostalgia, like even if price were even more in line with each other, I would still enjoy shooting Labyrinth more.
Yeah, I definitely want to shoot Labyrinth a little bit. Let me see. This is Bowen just showing off. Bowen came out of like retirement to show
Mm-hmm.
off this game. I knew there was something up. Where is the first one? So I'm just checking real quick. We do have to mosey on because we're over time. But I knew talking to Doug was going to be a blast. And thank you so much for letting me live vicariously through you.
Hercules, then everything else.
Yeah,
is like
Hercules,
Green.
then everything else.
Yeah.
I saw that one. Once again, guys, you got to keep up with Doug does a lot. Doug doesn't just do pinball.
I do too much. I do everything you're not supposed to do on YouTube. Like you're supposed to just talk about one subject and beat that dead horse. And I'm all like, hey, let's talk about pinball. Hey, let's talk about toys. Hey, let's talk about arcade games. Hey, let's talk about something you don't care to talk about.
This was one of my favorite, and this Il Robinson will appreciate this one. The fact that you did a Death Star.
Death Star wall.
This was so good.
You gotta
I'm
see
like,
my wife's face as she like pulls up and I'm in the garage working on this. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I could tell you, but I'd rather just show you." So I'm like, "Come back in a couple hours when I'm done."
This is great. And it's when you see how it's done, Doug will show you. So I'm gonna. You guys are gonna have to go watch the video to see how he did it, but it's pretty baller. So.
Well, thank you.
Now
I
subscribe
appreciate
to
it.
CoolToy.
That's
Good,
my
good job,
Boy
man.
Scout engineering. That's what that is.
Doug, thanks a lot, man.
Hey, thank you. Always a pleasure, man. Hopefully we
Next
can
time-
meet up and hang out next time for sure.
You got to go to TPF. You got to go to TPF. You got to go to TPF.
I'm hoping. Like I said,
Start now.
yeah. I mean, I
Start
can
working on
ask
it.
off. It's just a matter of like I got to find. The problem is TPF is like I'm obligated to visit family, so I have to like schedule accordingly because I got family in Texas that are in the area. So it's not like they see me on Facebook like, "Hey, you're literally 30 minutes away from us and you didn't visit us," type of thing. So I gotta make sure I've got a lot of time that I can spend with family, and then I could focus because I don't want to have to do both. Like we're like, "Hey, I'm gonna hang out with the family until 3 and then go over to TPF for a couple of like that's not fun. Like I want to focus. I want to be able to play pinball for 16 hours and
Exactly.
not do anything else.
Well, hopefully we'll get to meet up finally and
Looking forward to it.
have a drink. I'll buy you a drink.
Nice.
And then I'll tell you all the games that you love that I hate.
Sweet. I can't wait for you to crush my hopes and dreams. It's like, that Labyrinth game you were so high and mighty on it. I played it. God, that thing was a turd. Hope you get your money back, CoolToy. Or should I call you Fool Boy?
And with that, we will leave it. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure awesome. Il Robinson subscribed. Rye Shots is subscribed. Everybody go subscribe to CoolToy.
Thank you.
I'm Manu.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna go find somebody to raid, and I will see you guys Thursday at Free Go Watch. When I stream something, maybe we'll do Godzilla because
I don't remember
really...
asking you a goddamn thing.
Thanks, Jules.
Good night.